Hello, a fine afternoon across New Zealand. Plenty of clear sky and dry weather. You can see we've got a touch more cloud though down around those western facing coasts of both islands. And as we head in towards the night time, we'll find some showers or longer spells of rain pushing in towards Fjord. A bit of a taster of what's to come as we head through Friday and in towards the weekend. But for many of us, as we head in towards the night time, plenty of clear sky. You can see an odd shower there in towards Taranaki and around those far western coasts, but very few and far between. Most of the time it's a dry story across the North Island and across the majority of the South Island through the night time tonight, particularly from, say, Nelson right the way around towards Canterbury. Further south, a touch more cloud through Otago, and we'll keep hold of that wet weather through Fiordland and up in towards Westland. It was a cold night last night and a cold start to Thursday, and I think we have got another chilly morning as we head in towards the first part of Friday as well, but temperatures perhaps not as cool as we saw last night. Still down to lows around about 2 or 3 through parts of Gisborne and up in towards Hawke's Bay, so a cold night there and perhaps even cold enough for a touch of frost. And similar temperatures as we head through parts of Marlborough and down into Canterbury as well, so a bit of a chilly old start to the morning. But generally a fine looking start across the North Island. A touch more cloud around those western facing areas, and we have got a few showers that push through towards the western areas there. But again, some good breaks between them. Towards the end of the day, we'll find those showers becoming a little bit more prevalent through parts of, say, Taranaki and the Taura Range. But it's the South Island which sees the wetter weather, and that's only really for those western areas, for places like Fiordland and those southern parts of Westland. Further north, some showers to watch out for, and we have got some showers skirting around those far southern parts as well. And there could be 1 or 2 sharper ones running through parts of Otago, perhaps with the odd rumble of thunder. A bit of a heads up as we go in towards Friday night and the weekend, or particularly for Saturday. We've got some windier weather and some wetter weather creeping back up and across the country. So keep an eye on the forecast. We'll come to some severe weather watches and warnings a little bit later on. Now, as we go in towards the North Island for Friday, you can see for places like the Coromandel or the Bear plenty down in towards Wellington, generally a fine looking story. The other side of the hills, there's a touch more cloud coming through, the odd shower. Waikato, Waitomo, Taranaki, but I think still some good breaks through there, just a touch more cloud. We could catch an odd shower in towards Auckland through the daytime, but I think it's generally going to be a few odd ones, particularly about the western facing coast of the region. Most of the time it's dry and fine. And for Wellington, a fine start, but with that cloud thickening up later on, we'll find some showers about the higher parts of the Kapiti coast up towards Horowhenua. But again, I think just that cloud increasing it through the daytime there. The best of the brightness out towards the eastern areas, up and towards the Bear plenty as well, generally staying dry. In terms of our temperatures through the daytime, highs in Auckland of 17 degrees Celsius, 16 in Wellington, and not quite as cold as we head through the nighttime and on in towards Saturday. Heading southwards on towards the South Island. Again, plenty of clear sky for Nelson, Marlborough, and in towards Christchurch. Again, a chilly old start day, perhaps a touch of frost. You can see that this wet weather creeps up that western coast, and watch out for these showers springing out through Southland and Otago through the day. Perhaps the risk of 1 or 2 sharper ones through there. The odd rumble of thunder not out of the question around those coastal areas. They'll clear off as we head towards the end of the day. But you can see we've got a fair covering of cloud up this western coast throughout the daytime, with showers or longer spells of rain in towards Fiordland, up in towards Westland as well. And I think we are going to find the cloud continues to increase across the south as we head through the evening time and overnight. But weather just creeping back towards places like Stewart Island and skirting the likes of Bluff and Invercargill by the end of the day as well. But also start to find the winds increasing in those far southern areas. We have got those strong wind watches and warnings watches in place for just the wind and the heavy rainfall. So something to watch out for as we head through the night time Friday and on towards the early hours of Saturday. And you can see though, in terms of our temperatures, we'll find them increasing a little bit for places like Christchurch. So a bit of a warmer day for you, 20 degrees Celsius at your top temperature, and again, not as cold through the night. And once we head in towards the weekend, we'll find some much more unsettled weather back. Whether this front moves up the country, brings some heavy rainfall towards the western facing coast, and also some stronger winds as well, particularly ahead of this feature, those strong northwesterlies, perhaps reaching gale force in most exposed areas. And you can see by the end of the day, that wet weather and those stronger winds transfers towards the North Island as well. By the end of the day, perhaps up as far as, say, Hamilton, we'll find that wet weather. Behind it, some clearer skies and some cooler temperatures once again. But for places like Dunedin and around that Clutha coast, watch out for those winds which will turn around to be more southwesterly. Still gale force in the most exposed areas, and a fairly blustery, cold end to the day as well. So we have got some strong wind watches and some heavy rain watches in place. Now, this rain watch you can see for Fjorden really kicks in from, say, the end of the day on Friday, midnight or so, and runs through towards Saturday morning. That's also when we'll start to find those winds picking up through Fjordland, Southland and down towards Stewart Island. Those winds perhaps reaching gale force in the most exposed areas. We'll also find, as that front edges northwards, those strengthening northwesterlies through the Canterbury High Country. And then as we head in towards Saturday afternoon, we'll find those winds picking up through parts of Wellington and the Wairarapa. So again, those strengthening northwesterlies as we head through Saturday. Well worth keeping an eye on the forecast there, with the weather going downhill a fair bit too. Now this front does move through fairly quickly, so as we head in towards Sunday, you can see the worst of it is clearing away quite early, away towards the north. So behind it, some clearer skies, some more settled weather for Sunday, but we are going to find some cooler temperatures. And I think down south we've still got a fair number of showers to come in, and I think we are going to find a fair snow about the very high parts of, say, like Mount Aspiring National Park area. But I think it is going to be a cooler feel to the day as we head through Sunday, but hopefully with some quieter weather for the North Island. That's it from me. This is from metservice.com.